Some wonderful news now. 16 South African women are featured in this year's list of 100 Global Inspirational Women in Mining. It features women from around the world selected for visible contributions above and beyond their daily duties. We'll hear now to talk to us about the criteria and how many of the women make it in the world of mining is Lindiwe Nakedi, Chairperson of Women in Mining South Africa. On that list, well done. Congratulations,
Thank
Lindiwe.
you very much, Bob.
And I mean, some of us have never even heard of this list. So explain to us, you're being on the list. It's a great honor. You're one of 16 South African women.
Sure.
What is it? What does it actually celebrate when it comes to women in mining?
So Women in Mining, these are organizations that have, been born out of the need to be able to advocate for women within the industry. It's in the recent years, or now, it's been quite a number of years now that women are allowed to be in the mining industry. And so with these organizations, it's for us to be able to support women, who are parting a career within the mining industry. So Women in Mining UK was established in about 2006, and they started, with these celebration of women who are actually facing all sorts of challenges, but creating opportunities out of them, to say, let's see who's doing what in the industry and celebrate the fact that they're achieving, and charting this course within this male-dominated, or as, a friend of mine likes to put it, male-populated industry, not necessarily dominated.
Very kind, that's very kind. So when we talk about women in mining, women doing what in mining?
Basically, it's women doing all sorts of roles within the mining industry. Anything that you can think of, from drilling, driving huge trucks or dozers on the mine, blasting,
going underground,
going underground, drilling, as I said, with my company, we do surface drilling. And it's basically women who work within the mining industry, not just in supportive roles or administrative roles, but literally in the thick of things, planning mines, making mines, happen. And
Are there more women than we think in the industry? I mean, doing those things, the hands-on, on the ground, the actual dusty work.
There's a lot of women in the industry. Not as many as we would like, especially in the leadership roles, because that's where it matters. That's where the decisions are made. But there's a lot of women out in the industry. And this is why we needed things like these, exposure like this, to say there are women in the mining who are facing all sorts of challenges, who are just going against all adversity and succeeding.
Why aren't they getting to those top positions, like you say? Why not?
Look, I think there's still, challenges in getting women to be at levels where they are respected. We still feel that there's a lot of not recognizing the fact that women are just like men, in any role. You can become a CEO, you can become a planning manager, so it's just a matter of respect, and a matter of being recognized. And we need the type of leaders who are in the mining industry currently to give women these positions. And, just like our chairperson-elect, who is Tabile Makhala, she's currently one executive, in mining at Impala Platinum. And that's because her senior managers have been able to recognize the talent that is there. And she's been able to grow through the ranks from an operational side, not just coming.
So she's been through it.
She's been through it all. She's been from the bottom all the way up, worked her way all the way up. And this is what we need, that recognition, and for men who will be able to champion this change.
Well, let's talk about you now. Okay. You own a surface drilling company, Gubani Exploration, currently the only 100% black female-owned drilling company in South Africa. What made you get involved in mining?
Well, we'll just, firstly, my husband is a geologist.
Oh, wow.
And I first started, I ran a recruitment company with a partner of mine. And after that, I decided I wanted a challenge. I needed something new. And watching him, doing what he does, I decided to go into mining. And this is where we decided, look, we need to go into drilling because it looked like a lucrative business, but not realizing just how challenging it is. Just to get equipment is challenging because it's such an expensive piece of equipment. And so it hasn't been an easy journey. We're celebrating 10 years this year,
well done.
But you'd still feel as if now people look at it and think, oh, overnight success. No, there's not such a thing.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
Blood, sweat and tears. And very quickly for us, would you encourage school leavers, those who are finishing matric, younger girls to consider mining as a career?
That's right.
Where we are now.
Yes, definitely. I think the reason why we do a campaign like this is to say, you need to know that there's opportunities. You know, as much as there are challenges, there's opportunities. And I was telling, WIMSA normally runs a girls program, and I was telling those young ladies to say, when you enter or when you decide to come into this industry, think innovation. Think, what can I do differently? Think, what kind of change can I bring? Because I think we were made with a specific purpose to bring change, you know, and so we want to lead the change as WIMSA, and we definitely encourage young girls to go into mining because there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, and women can multitask. We have 2 arms, but we can do 10 things, right?
Definitely.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Well done. Congratulations, Lindiwe Nakedi, Chairperson of Women in Mining South Africa. Partner Women doing it everywhere.